afternoon. Um, is it on? Can you guys hear me? Okay. So I do appreciate all the perspectives that this talk has brought, from academia to regulators to the industry. So I think I'm the first industry person up here. So I wanted to introduce you guys to our company. So I'm Chio Saeteurn, the Director of Quality Assurance at BlueNalu. We are a cell-cultured seafood company based out of San Diego, California. I think we were started in 2017 with our founder, Lou Cooperhouse. So as part of our mission statement, and I think this is a collective that we share as colleagues, is that BlueNalu really aims as the next generation seafood company that is committed to delivering renewable protein and ingredient solutions without continuously taking fish from the ocean. So currently, seafood consumption is soaring. Out of all of the animal protein categories, it's consumed 2.5 times faster than any animal product category. However, the supply chain cannot keep up with this demand. And with over 90% of our fisheries being overfished or exploited, aquaculture is having a hard time bridging that gap in our supply chain. It's predicted by 2050 that the 50 million ton supply is required to close out that gap. So consumers, as you guys have seen, and this is the ongoing theme, they want to eat healthy products. However, 60% of our current seafood contains harmful chemicals, including mercuries, PCBs, pathogens, and also microplastics. About 90% of the US seafood supply relies heavily on imports, but yet the seafood companies also, the shipments are also frequently rejected, further putting more pressure on our supply chain. So we need a new method of production to feed our future. And to solve this seafood dilemma, we've invested in providing a cell culture option. So the objective is really to provide something that is tasty and healthy, that is equivalent in nutrition, where the supply chain is also predictable. We've worked with a lot of chefs within our San Diego area, and one of the common themes is that their supply chain is difficult to meet, and the consistency of the product is also difficult to maintain, as there's a lot of variability that is naturally occurring. And then it also provides a responsible and conscious effort or option for the consumer as well. Okay. So as I was talking to some of our colleagues here, some of the oversight isn't quite clear yet. So FDA currently oversees all of the cell culture protein processes, regardless if it's seafood, meat, or poultry. For downstream, once it's harvested, the final product identification falls under the relative regulation. So what that means is anything that is meat and poultry, it will fall under USDA regulations under the FSIS inspection group. However, for us, we've put in a lot of effort to make sure that our compliance adheres to 21 CFR 123 seafood HACCP. Sorry for the heavy slide. So as part of the pre-market consultation, there's no definite guidance currently that is available. However, we've been working with FDA to do the pre-market consultations. And in that process, we present a myriad of safety data that is asked us about toxicology, it's also asked about microbiological hazards, including physical and chemical hazards, not only in just our raw materials, but also within our process as well. So these assessments are presented in the dossier. And in the spirit of transparency, this will also be published within the FDA website. For, again, transparency purposes, there is a link that I left to all of the dossiers that have been approved, and now the safety information that is there. So as we go into our next speakers, and in the spirit of collaboration, I thank you guys for all of your input. And with your help and ability and all of your insight, we're able to take something that is potentially just supposed to be occurring in the future to today's world. So with that being said, I'd like to introduce you to Jonathan Budinger. So Jonathan Budinger is a food engineer passionate about revolutionizing the culinary landscape through novel digital cooking techniques at U.S. Army's Combat Feeding Division in Oak Ridge Institute.